Hello and welcome to another Wolftime gaming video. Today we're going to be painting up General Grievous, getting him tabletop ready to play Star Wars Legion, which is a game from FFG. I'll take you through this really quick and simple paint scheme to get him looking like this. Really simple to do. Quite a few paints involved, but it's fairly simple. As usual though, let's get the kettle on. As always, the first stage is to give it a base coat of white or a black paint. In this instance I've used white, which is a Tamiya spray. I've also given the base a covering of Corvus black as well, but we'll come on to that a little later. So the first colour I've got down is Contrast Blood Angels Red, which I'm using for the back of the cloak to make it look a lot like what you see in the films. I think there's quite a deep red, and this is perfect and drops into the recesses nicely, giving you that real sort of shaded effect straight away without a lot of effort really. The next stage is a few minor details on the model, mainly the green that you can see underneath his armour. So for that I've gone with a Waagh flesh, just to drop into the recesses really before I've or go into the actual armour and stuff, so I don't actually get any of the green and things afterwards on there. I've also used a contrast Gulliman flesh at this point just to do the eyes, and I literally just touched it in the eyes and it fills in really nicely. The next stage is Leadbelcher, and this covers essentially all of the silver areas on the model, just completely coat it really apart from the armour. Most of the model is actually made up of this sort of silver colour, and don't worry if it goes too bright, we're going to put some Nuln Oil on in a little while, which I'll take you through. But essentially it's everywhere bar the armour plating. Once you've gone around all the silver, he starts to look like this. He's actually looking really good already. If you do go over any of the armour plating, don't worry, just pick up a white paint, something like White Scar, and just touch those areas up before we go on to colouring the armour. But you can already see he's starting to take place and he's looking really effective already. The next colour we're going to be using is Contrast Skeleton Bone. This is the same colour we used on the B1 Battle Droids. If you haven't watched that video already, make sure you do check it out. It's a really easy paint scheme, but it's the same colour. All I'm doing with this is really taking my time to put it on quite thinly, where the Battle Droids we went on quite thick, to give them that sort of dirty feel. I wanted General Grievous to actually look quite clean in comparison. And you just take your time going around the whole model, touching up all those white areas, and it'll drop into the recesses quite nicely and give you the natural shade. These contrast paints are known for, and they're absolutely fantastic at getting a really good effect with very minimal effort really. Once that's complete, the next stage is the black areas, mainly the actual cloak itself. To do that I've used Corvus black. It's quite a nice coloured black. It's not too, it's not like a matte black. It's got quite almost a grey tinge to it, so it means you haven't got to highlight it as much as you would do with other blacks. You may actually need a couple of coats on this one. It does go on quite thinly, and you can see already it's starting to show the white areas. Once you've actually got a good decent coat on there, it's now time to pick out all the like raised areas, the highlights themselves. And to do that, I've just used Dawnstone, which is a layer paint from Citadel, and I've just dry brushed essentially all those raised areas on the cloak itself and all around the edges to give it a nice bit of definition really. So you can see now he's looking really good already. All the colours are actually down, or most of the colours are down on the actual model itself. And he's looking really effective already. The cloak's a really nice striking red. It makes the rest of him stand out, I think. And the model looks pretty good. One thing we want to do, though, is darken down some of those silver areas and give them a bit of shading. To do that, we use Nuln Oil. So what I've done with the Nuln Oil is actually coated the whole of the cloak. Now, the reason I've done that is because it blends the colours nicely together. So those grey areas that we picked out earlier on with the Dawnstone actually blend quite nicely into the black by giving it a coating of this oil. Also go over all the silver areas and it'll drop down into the recesses really nicely, giving it a natural shade. It's absolutely fantastic shade to use from Citadel. I use Nuln Oil on pretty much all of the miniatures that I paint, and make sure you do get those lightsaber hilts as well, just so they look a little bit more realistic rather than a big block of silver. You can already see the shaded areas on the legs standing out really nicely. The final stage with these really is the lightsabers. To start with, I've gone with a Macragge blue on the right hand lightsaber, left as you're looking at it now, and I decided to go with a purple for the opposite one. I know we didn't kill Mace Windu and we only recently saw Mace have the purple lightsaber, but I wanted something a little bit different. So I started with a Xereus purple just on the left hand lightsaber there, or right as you're looking at it, just to give it a decent base coat. To highlight the lightsabers and make it look a little bit like they're glowing, first off I used Altdorf guard blue on the blue one, and essentially just all you need to do is just go from the end of the lightsaber towards the hilt, giving it a heavier coat towards the end, which makes it a lighter colour and pulls it down to the dark colour at the bottom. And I did exactly the same with the purple, but used Genestealer purple for that. And it really does make it look like it's glowing slightly. You can see there's lighter areas just on the edges of the lightsaber. It's not a true glow like we see in the films, but these are tabletop miniatures and they look absolutely fantastic when you're actually playing with them on the table. So the final stage to finish off the miniature is the base. Now you can leave the base plain if you want to, but I like that full immersive sort of feeling. So I've gone with the Martian Ironearth, which is technical paint from Citadel Miniatures. You just want to take your time with this. You need to put it on really, really thickly. You can see just on the images there how thick this goes down in comparison with the miniatures, but you get a fantastic effect. Whereas it dries, it all cracks and makes it look a little bit more realistic, more like real terrain. That's it, model's complete. It's looking absolutely fantastic and looking amazing on any tabletop. You can see just in the eyes there that yellowy sort of effect is given by the paint pulling away. I haven't put any extra paint on there. We did use 14 paints for this one, so it's quite a high number of paints in comparison to other models we painted, such as the B1s and even the clones. Really, we've put more colour onto these ones, but I think they're looking really, really good. You could have skipped the purple step and just done 2 blue lightsabers if you wanted to, or even a green, using a few different shades of green just on the lightsabers. But I think he's looking really good and I can't wait to get him on the tabletop to play some games with him. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.